Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with a quick video here, man. Just give you all my post-fight thoughts on Carla Esparza versus Michelle Waterson. This was a good little return to women's MMA. It was a very good technical fight between these two. I actually thought it would have favored Carla Esparza a little bit more so. Like, I thought she would have been able to kind of capitalize with the wrestling, but I got to give it up to Michelle Waterson. She made it a pretty tough fight. She made it a good technical match in some spots. And, it was a split decision win for Carla Esparza, though. A very close fight. And a couple of the cards I didn't agree with, though. They had it 30-27. Two judges had it 30-27, one for Michelle and one for Carla. And, right there, I was like, nah, neither fighter ever swept, the fight from one another. It was always a close fight between these two. It was very competitive, but I had it 2 rounds to 1 for Carla. And I could have saw it 2 rounds to 1 for Michelle. Like, if one of the judges had 2 rounds of Michelle straight across the board, hey, I could have saw that too. But I saw Carla doing a little bit more work and be a little bit more aggressive in spots. And I felt like, she knew how to kind of hustle. She knew how to steal those rounds when it was time to. She used her aggression well and kind of fought at a faster pace, in spots. Did well for a 3-round fight. I felt like there were a couple of rounds where Michelle Waterson was kind of fighting more patient. It would have worked more for like a 5-round fight. I know there's not much of a big difference. It's 2-round difference, but I thought some of the work she was doing in like the end of the round and the first round was kind of good for the mid rounds if she kind of wanted to control the fight in that pace. But in these 3-round fights, you got to hustle. Especially for somebody like against Carla. Against Carla, you really have to hustle because, she's going to steal these rounds. She knows how to do that. She's a seasoned fighter. But just going back and looking at each round real quick, first round, like I said, I feel like it was a good feeling out process, more of a chess match. Waterson, she wanted to keep it at a range. I feel like she was using her kicks good to keep Carla back. And, she wanted to keep that striking pressure on Carla. But Carla was really using her lateral movement. She was moving side to side constantly. So Michelle kind of had to move. And she kind of had to move and reset herself. Waterson was keeping her at a good range. I felt like she was just kind of controlling that pace by her stance. But I really wanted to see her start making use of a good jab. She landed a couple good body kicks, here and there in the round. But I felt like Carla, she was kind of closing that distance with those little feints. When she was getting in there, she was using the little feints. And she was using these feints to land her own right hand. She clipped Michelle Waterson with some good right hands, which I think, with that type of aggression, she was stealing the round. And to close the round, Carla, she timed one of Waterson's kicks. She caught the leg and got the takedown. So I had to give that round to Esparza. I feel like she had the more effective moments. And I think Waterson, was keeping good range early. But like I said, if she was using more of like a front kick and a good jab to kind of keep the shorter fighter back, I think she would have won it. But I had to give it to Carla because I feel like her exchanges were a little bit more effective. Second round, this one was all Waterson though. This is what Waterson needed to do. Plus like 5, plus 10. Waterson kept it at a good pace, technical round on her feet where she dictated the pace. The shot she wanted to throw. Esparza was always on her game though. She was being dangerous. Really making Waterson have to stay focused. And Michelle Waterson, she controlled the pace with the kicks. She was able to switch it in the orthodox stance. She was getting in some good leg kicks to Waterson's calves. Excuse me. She was getting in some good kicks to Esparza's calves and some good body kicks. And then after that, she would switch to southpaw, kind of use that little right hook. Whenever Carla would step in, she would use that right hook, like a check left hook almost. And in the clinches, she would use them left knees to the body every time Esparza would rush in. So she was timing a lot of the rushes of Esparza. Esparza needed to come in more of an angle or kind of wade her way in because she was darting straight in. She was darting straight in. So after a while, Waterson was timing these clinch, near, push off, go back to where she wanted to be, keep that distance. But again, Waterson needed a good jab. I felt like if she was going to keep this standing, she needed to use the hands and the feet to keep this going. And Esparza needed a jab. She needed to jab her way in. Jab is a big part of a fight. I don't care if you are a wrestler or if you are, a Muay Thai fighter just wants to use kicks. You need a good jab. You need to switch levels and throw fighters off. So for Esparza, I wanted to see her jab her way in more and make the clinches a little bit rough and dirty. You know, she needed to kind of, you know, bulldog rush Esparza and get her off her balance, because she let Waterson, she let Waterson keep her balance too much and control the pace with those heavy body kicks. But yeah, that was all Waterson that second round. Last round, this was crunch time for both ladies, and I think Esparza, she realized that. You know, she started to step on the gas more. Waterson trying to, you know, fight strong in the middle of the octagon. I think she did it well in that, like I said, in that second round. But in this round, she needed to step it up with the hands and the feet, because Esparza started closing that distance more, trying for takedowns. Waterson was keeping her back on, keeping her back on the fence whenever those clinches would come. And still, though, man, I felt like Esparza was just finding her rhythm. You know, she would catch them kicks, and when she catch them kicks, she catch with that right hand. You know, she would catch with that right hand, and you know, throw a little flurry in there to kind of steal the round. And towards the end of the round, you know, Esparza really wanted to win it. You know, she started really hustling. She started coming after it, being a little bit more busy. You know, applying the aggression. But again, I gotta give credit to Waterson. You know, her takedown defense was great. Came down to like that third round, like whenever Esparza was hustling and putting that aggression on her, she was doing well, man. She was doing really well as far as like just kind of springing her feet back up and using the fence and kind of like, you know, spinning out, using knees in the clinch to get rid of those takedowns, keeping good balance all the way to the end of the fight, you know. But I feel like Carla Esparza, she kind of controlled the pace a little bit more in those moments. In the 2 rounds, I feel like she won the first and the third. But overall, it was a good little technical fight. At the end of the bell, like I said, I had my pick. I had it 2 rounds to 1 for Carla. I think she had the better hustle, better strikes in there. And I think the takedown in the first round definitely sealed that first one to me. But like I said, if you had it 2-1 for Michelle, hey, I could have saw that too, you know, depending on what you're looking at. I would have said it would have been 1 and 2 for it could have been rounds 1 and 2 for Michelle Waterson. But yeah, overall it was a good little fight, you know, a good return to women's MMA. Yeah, again, honestly, my final thoughts. So honestly, I don't really think anybody swept anybody. It was never like 30-27 for Michelle or Carla in this one, man. But yeah, it was a good split decision win for Carla Esparza. And from here, you know, she called out Claudia Gadelha. You know, she wants that rematch, and that's real, man. I was like, hey, go for it. You know, she needs to do that. And you know, if she can't get that, because, you know, Claudia still got the Angela Hill problems. Hey, if Angela Hill wins, I like to see that fight. I told y'all in some past videos I want to see Angela Hill fight Carla Esparza again, because, hey, I feel like Angela Hill kind of got done wrong in that Tough House when she had to face, you know, the #1 seed, and that was like only her second fight in MMA, you know. So I feel like, you know, that was kind of cold. So I'd like to see her get that rematch again, you know, and kind of redeem herself, because, hey, that would make a good fight though. But Claudia, man, to me, she did lose that first fight against Carla Esparza, you know. So I feel like Carla Esparza wants to call her out and, you know, fix that, and you know, fix that wrong, you know, make it right. But yeah, man, that's all I got on this, guys. Like I said, it was a pretty good little return to women's MMA. Let me know what y'all want to see from Carla Esparza next, and what y'all thought of the decision. Y'all think Carla did enough to beat Michelle Waterson? Do you think Michelle Waterson beat her? You know, let me know in the comment section, guys. Been kind of busy, but I'll be back with some more videos. Actually, I got to go take care of some business right now, so I want to go ahead and drop this for y'all. But thanks to my new subscribers. I'll be back with some more videos. Got something special coming up. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Peace.